What's up, guys? We got the video review squad here ready to break down a roll between Jitsu and Jesset. This is at the end of like an hour-long rolling private lesson. So, they're not 100%, but thankfully technique will prevail. I'm sure of it for someone.
Maybe they'll start here soon.
They're going to start. Our video timing was off a bit, but that's okay.
Here we go.
All right, so Jesset playing in the bottom, Jitsu looking for that perfect entry point on top. Jesset stood up. That's the problem with that. You want to make sure if you are on top, you never let the person on the bottom be able to stand. You want to keep them down there.
Here's Jeset's nightmare of a closed guard.
So Jeset's keeping his guard closed, and he's very strong there, which is fine. He's doing a good job of controlling the head on the bottom. Jitsu really needs to try to posture and push Jesset down here so that he doesn't allow this position to stay like this. Like right now, he's going to get swept because when you sit up and get shoulder to shoulder like that, it's really strong. So on the bottom of mount for Jitsu, his knees are bent, but he's not bumping. Jesset, I remember this when it happened. His feet were crossed underneath you. So you use your feet here to untangle his ankles, and then you start pushing on one knee, and you shrimp out. Basically like the elbow escape from bottom mount is just what you have to be going for here. He's not really threatening you. He's not making you uncomfortable. He really wasn't tormenting you with what time is it pressure to any meaningful degree, even still. You could grab that arm and bridge, but I think the elbow escape here would be good. It looks like we need to drill it a little bit more. So he ended up catching an Americana on your arm there, super strong, but really that you could have got out of that by pushing the knee better. You just had to make that your focus. So here we are again. You're passing on top, looking for your knee cut. Jesset has your ankle though, which is the correct thing on the bottom. Really, you want to try to take away space. You want to make him have to keep pushing you. But it looks like you're giving him a lot of room to work on top. So here you're in a good position, but you kind of froze there and let him get the bottom leg out to get closed again. You should have kept your shin over his leg and not allowed that to happen. Since you are here, you're going to want to, again, posture and push him down. So you caught his arm under his back here. That's an okay thing if it happens, but I don't go for it. I think you should protect your neck here. I don't like letting anyone wrap my head ever. Even though your neck is okay here, with his hands connected, he's going to be able to neck crank you or roll you and then neck crank you. See, if he hadn't let that go, he's tapping you with that because he would have had the same pressure there. So he's back to being mounted. You got your arm stuck in there. That's not good. You want to push his knee with your hand. You don't want your hand stuck in there because you can't defend your neck now. So he's doing the same thing, trying to put pressure on you, but he's really not doing a really good job of putting any attacks or pressure on top. So you have plenty of room to think there, but you're not doing the right thing with it. Like you could push his hips here and bump and try to lift him and get your hooks inside and return to butterfly guard. Or again, elbow escape. That just has to be practiced because your feet are not on the ground. So you're running into the back of his hamstring when you're trying it. So he's getting his mount super high there. That was solid. I mean, you got to not let the guy that's mounted on you get high on your upper body like that. And you know what? That's all good. Let's see if you can try that shit again, see what happens. Probably nothing good. So we're entering again with the pass. You got a good knee cut entry. He's going to have to push you here. He gets a closed guard again. So he did the same thing 3 times to you now that resulted in closed guard, which isn't a huge deal because it's not like this is a good position. It's more neutral. But that
Posturing.
Combined with the fact that you weren't posturing before was what made it bad. This time you postured better, and that was a lot better. So it forced him to take a bad attack for a triangle or an armbar, and you're totally fine when you're this postured. So he's grabbing your leg, so you know he wants to try to get that ankle lock he likes. So the key here is you have to stay standing with weight on your foot. You can't let him push you back over, and you can't turn away like that. See, as soon as you turn to your left, your foot got off the ground, and he got a lot of power on your ankle. So, like, you defended it well at first, but you can't allow that part to happen. And plus, Jesset is extremely physical, so very strong there. This looks like a really good back take. It looks like you almost willed him to sit that way.
I just want to point out that Eric Lopez hasn't done anything, and now he's pretending to do sit-ups.
Eric Lopez, wrestling doesn't work. What else could we say? Sit-ups, though, those work. All right, so we got Jesset in guard of Jitsu now. See how he's postured, pushing your knee? That's literally the only thing you should be doing there. And then he got his knee over your knee, which is, again, now it's hard for you to get close guard again because of where that's at. That just pretty much has to be the answer. So you could have actually went to honey hole here. This is actually the entry that you see Elliot do a lot when the top leg is over. I know it's not something that we practice a lot, but it was there. So as soon as he lands on top, he's not being heavy, which is a common theme people are doing wrong in all these breakdowns. You need to be putting all of your weight on the opponent when you pass. You have an underhook here and you're not getting out. Like, you slowly trying to bridge, but you should have aggressively bridged and gotten right out of there. So right here, you should be keeping your knee inside. You ended up getting back to the top, which is good, but you're in the closed guard. So now you're pushing correctly. That's good. Your posture's better. I don't like that. So you can't lean over because now you have no base and he's going to make you fall again. He's going for the ankle and you're sitting. So it's going to, I mean, you tapped kind of early there, but he did make you fall again. Just a few fundamental things that we're going to have to beat into your head there. Like, on top, you've got to keep posture and keep them away from you when you're in guard. So you got your pass and you're on side now. You need to be heavy. You're doing a pretty good job of being heavy on top, actually. So yeah, shoulder pressure is what you should be going for here. His arm's in a bad spot. You should probably just make sure you don't lose this. Drive, drive, drive. You can look for a dart. You can look for the head wrap. You could go to knee on belly. You could go to the perch. No rush, though. You just want to be heavy and not let him throw you off of him. So he's extending his arm, so the near side's an option too. He doesn't have an underhook, so the far side Americana is an option. The razor's an option. Just set, you don't want to keep your arm in a bad spot like that. Like, you need to keep your elbows closer to your body. You don't want to be reaching for stuff. Like, your arm is in trouble there. Even if the guy on top doesn't take advantage of it, that's not where you want your arms on the bottom. Either one of them, really. So you can see, like, both people are doing kind of the wrong thing here. But that said, you did stay on top, but not ideal. So yeah, there's a lot to get from that. Basically, you know, your mind will get fluttered with different moves you want to practice and spots and trying to deal with a particular person's style, but good fundamentals take you a long way. You need to develop a good elbow escape from the bad positions, good defense for passing the guard, especially closed guard. So that's some stuff that we're going to be working on. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown.